So how you feeling? What's the post game kind of recovery process like for you?
Feel good. Staying consistent with everything, making sure there's no swelling, nothing like that. But everything's going well. Feel good.
What was the build up for you? The moment that you got the clearance and said, "All right, let's do this." It's going to be St. John's.
It's just exciting. That was a big game for us. Going into it, again, we didn't have any ranked wins, so that was going to be an exciting first game, and just being able to kind of get my feet wet in like a big game like that was exciting for sure.
Why was it important for you to come back in a big game? It was my understanding that you really were pushing for one of the big ones.
Nah, for sure. I mean, I've just always been a competitor. I felt like I have the ability to help us win at a high level. I feel like I can make an impact on big games, and I felt like St. John's would be the perfect way to kind of introduce myself.
Was there kind of like getting your legs underneath you? Like what were those kind of early runs up and down the floor like for you?
Well, honestly, I felt in pretty good shape. Like I never really was tired. Just kind of getting back into a game mindset. Like I was a little excited at points. Like I fouled a 3-point shooter. I don't usually do that. Just kind of overexcited at points. But I felt like I kind of reined it in and was able to play solid and help us get it done.
Checking in for the first time and hearing the roar from BBN, knowing how long kind of in the making that's been, what was that like for you?
It was amazing. It was an away game, so not even away. It was a neutral site game, so you was just seeing how much of BBN popped out and just showed support, and it felt like a home game. Like when I checked in, the whole crowd exploded. And it was kind of everything you expect, everything you hope for when you go to play in front of the BBN crowd. So I was super excited. It was fun.
What kind of full circle kind of moment is it for you, knowing like that was 25 months in the making since your first commitment, and you have your detour, and then kind of getting back and just being able to actually wear Kentucky across your chest in a live game for the first time?
It was a great feeling. The last time I was on the court and kind of got a standing ovation was on my visit when I wasn't playing. So just to see that come full circle 2-3 years later is an amazing feeling.
In terms of your actual production, what did you think? What were you kind of like looking at the film? What did you do well? What did you think you need to work on going into Bellarmine and then going into SEC play?
I feel like post defense I did pretty good. I didn't get sealed as much. I did better with that. Kind of playing tougher. I felt like I played pretty tough. Got some offensive boards. I feel like I could have been a little bit more aggressive offensively, just going to the rim. Like I faded away a little bit more than I usually do, just being like a little bit more aggressive, being more like an attacking mindset. So I could do better with that. But otherwise, I felt I played pretty solid.
What do you overdo it? Step in whatever you want.
Okay,
No, you're good.
Like we mentioned, Sports Classic is always a really big game. Just have you thought about how your game will always be historic among some of the best, moments in the Sports Classics for Kentucky?
I never really had thought about it, to be honest. It was just kind of go out. I was really focused on just kind of letting the game come to me naturally, not try to overdo it, not try to force anything. And I felt like that kind of helped it kind of flow more freely, and I feel like the results showed well, so it was good.
How, I know Pope said in your TV interview afterward that you've been trying to play since September. When was like the realistic, all right, this is the first, like I would like to play against North Carolina, or I'd like to play whatever, and Pope kind of having to be like, let's reel it in, let's kind of ease our way into this?
Well, I've always been very excited to play. I've always felt like I was good. I feel like I really trust in the team around me, like B. Wells, Randy, all the people who have been kind of around me every day. So I was going to be patient. I was going to let them put me in the best position, trust in, my dad, my agents, my people like that who kind of have my best interest in mind. But I was always super eager to play. Just off the rip, I always felt like in those big games I could be an impact player. So I don't really like sitting on the bench watching, trying to be a vocal leader. That's never been my thing. I kind of like to lead by example. But I feel like I've been ready to play for a long time.
What did you learn about yourself and your teammates in that time watching these games and not being able to make an impact on the floor, but kind of being a coach, kind of mentor from the sideline?
I feel like everybody has that hunger to win. I feel like just getting a sense of cohesion and connection as a team, I felt like that's what I learned about the most, learning about my teammates, not being able to be with them on the court, being with them off the court, build relationships in a different way. When you don't really have that same bond on the court, build the connection that way. So I felt like that's probably what I learned the most.
You, J-Lo, kind of the full product finally for the first time. Did you kind of laugh at, some of the media members, some of the fans that were kind of being dramatic and overreacting, myself included, to those early losses, knowing like, hey, just the full product is coming. Just kind of be patient with us.
Well, I'm not a huge media person. Like I don't even run my social media like that. Like my dad helps run it most of the time. So I never really overreacted to that. I just kind of try to control what I can control. And yeah, that's all I really can do.
How excited were you to just see all of the pieces on the floor for the first time, you included? But J-Lo, him coming back in the second half, how cool that was. But getting a full half with your entire full roster for the first time.
It was a great feeling. Seeing everybody. You could just tell the energy was different. Like on the bench, everybody was super excited. Everybody was loud. On the court, everybody was moving. Everybody was talking more than we were before. Like I felt like everybody had that buy-in and confidence, that knowing that everybody was here and that we really had a chance to be special. Like I felt like everybody felt it. On the team, in the arena, I felt like everybody felt it. So it was fun.
How tough is J-Lo?
Super tough. He came back from shoulder injury. I was on the bike. I see him go in. I got a little worried. That's a huge player for us, huge piece for us. And when he was able to check back into the game, it was just a huge momentum shift just immediately. So he's a super tough player, vocal leader. Defensively, he's made huge steps. I heard he wasn't great defensively last year, but even since the summer, just seeing him, he's a super competitor. You can just kind of see it with him on both sides of the ball. So that was super cool to see.
What kind of magic with Brandon Wells and Randy Towner, like the work that they do to put you on the floor, to keep Jaylen on the floor, just kind of all of the bumps and bruises that the whole team has dealt with to kind of finally get to this point where it's a full product?
Well, I mean, they're great at what they do. They've been working with me since like June, since I've got out here. So it's been a super long process with them, and you just trust that they have your best interest in mind. They don't try and rush you back. They really trust in how you feel, and they're really diligent in everything they do. So I trust those guys a lot, and they're super huge for all of us.
You talked about the energy shifting when you come in. Just talk about how the competitiveness among the bigs, now that you're able to also be in that rotation with everyone.
I felt like everybody's been coming out playing, especially in these last couple games, just playing super aggressive since I've been able to practice. I feel like iron sharpens iron, and I feel like we've all been playing at a super high level. You can tell everybody's excited for each other. There's no infighting at all. Like everybody's excited to just be the best version of ourselves, and it's been like a really good feeling. I feel like we have one of the best big groups in the country. All three of us were All-Americans. McDowell's All-Americans. Nobody else has that, so I feel like we have a really good chance to be special, especially in the front court.
How do you guys work off of each other and kind of all of your strengths working together? Maybe covering up some of each other's weaknesses.
I feel like we just push each other to be better. Getting everybody to talk more, getting everybody to be more physical, be more aggressive, be more kind of assertive, just be kind of more leaders like the front court's supposed to be. So I feel like everybody's growing as leaders and kind of bringing that energy to kind of get the rest of the team to follow suit.
You being the shot blocker you are, how big was it to see Malachi kind of set the tone with kind of sending one into a couple rows up?
Yeah, like 3 early. He was killing, especially these last 3 games. He's been killing defensively. He's just sitting. He's not letting anything go. You could tell he just really wants it. He really wants to win. That's a big part of defense, and he's a super competitor as well. So seeing him defensively these last couple games has been super special as well.
Where have you seen him grow the most since when he first arrived, set foot on a college campus to where he is today?
Where have I seen him grow the most? I feel like just kind of his aggressiveness, his confidence. I feel like he's been growing, as you do. It's his freshman year. Just growing on the college stage, getting more confident, getting more assertive. I feel like that's been the biggest thing for him, for sure.
How cool was it to see Kam finally get one to fall for him?
Kam, he works hard. He's been one of the best shooters all summer, so I've been believing my boy forever. So especially when we got that momentum going, seeing him kind of find himself again, that's been great to see, and I know it's a lot more coming for sure.
How he impacts the game in so many other ways, and even when the shot's not falling, and is it a confidence booster for him to be able to I can get a block, I can get a steal, I can get a dunk, and knowing that the shooting is going to come eventually?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a super huge impact player, especially defensively, blocking shots, being in gaps, just just kind of impacting the defensive side of the ball. So he's been really good for us, especially defensively. even trying to get to the rim, make plays for teammates, he's been like a huge player for us for sure.
Yeah, all summer you guys talked about being a top 5 defensive team and maybe one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. Is that kind of the tone you were hoping to set in your debut, and kind of everybody, all the puzzle pieces kind of finally coming together?
For sure. I mean, I've been saying this since the summer. Like, I feel like we have a chance to be one of the best defensive teams in the country. I feel like we still have that chance. Again, we had a couple of rough games to begin, and I feel like a couple people forgot about us. People push us to the side. They forget. We still stand on everything we said before. We have the same team. We have the same guys. We have the same confidence. I feel like we're going to be everything that we said we're going to be and more.
I'm sure you've been asked this already, but how's the knee feeling? A little sore? Were you a little extra tired after the game? How are you feeling?
I actually felt really good during the game. I didn't feel crazy out of shape. Obviously, I didn't play too many minutes, but I felt like my knee recovered well. Yeah, I felt like everything went well.
So I'm assuming you're good to go for tomorrow?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. Kind of walk me through how you were feeling, knowing that you were going to play your first game, knowing how long it had been, and the opponent. How are you feeling? Any butterflies, nerves heading into the game on Friday or on Saturday, I should say?
Not really. I mean, I feel like it was mostly excitement. You know, I've always been kind of a big game player. I always wanted to play in those big games. I've always been a super competitor. So just being able to show that I could do it at the highest level against the best people is one of the reasons why I wanted to come back so bad. So I felt like that was a big thing for me. I was super excited for the game.
Where do you think your return, and as you get more and more comfortable out there on the court, coming back, where do you think your skills and also the rest of the team, how far this season can go for you guys?
Again, we stand on everything we said before. We still think we're a national championship caliber team. We're still going for number 9. We're still coming for everything. I feel like we can be one of the best defensive teams in the country. I said that last summer. I still stand on that. I feel like offensively, once we find kind of our rhythm, I feel like we're great. Like, again, second half, we scored 53 points even after struggling in the first half. When we have momentum, when we have everybody going, everybody clicking, I feel like we could be a great team. So I'm super excited to see what we could do.
But Pope kept talking about, I'm not shying away from the offensive excellence that we're going to have at some point. Like, we can win in the mud right now and win how we have to, but let's not get it twisted. We're still going to be a great shooting team. We're still going to be a great offensive team. Where do you find that confidence that it's going to that breakthrough is going to come eventually?
I mean, we've seen it all summer, and I just feel like that's kind of how the game goes. When the work always shows, what you do in the dark always comes to light. I feel like everybody here is hard workers. Everybody here knows what to do. We have a great coach. We have a great system. I feel like just shots haven't been falling. The confidence has been kind of back and forth. I feel like once we find that, I feel like we're going to be special.
How important was it to kind of stack a couple of big wins going into the holidays, going into SEC play, to kind of get the bad taste out of your all's mouths to start the year and kind of start fresh going into SEC?
I mean, for sure, it's just a reminder that we're still everything that we said we'd be. Like, again, the media, sometimes it's easy to get kind of thrown off a little bit. I think everything's not going as expected, but we're still who we think we are. We still have a chance to be great, and just being able to see that tangibly, getting these wins at important moments, I feel like that's just a huge confidence boost for everybody.
When you get the ball anywhere near the rim, it seems like you're just dunking it. No matter where you are, you don't even look at the basket, you just turn around, see basket, dunk. I just want to know what's kind of going through your head every time you're close to the rim, and just how easy it is for you out there.
I mean, just be aggressive. That's always what I was taught. They only have one there. I'm going to try and attack the rim. It's the easiest way to do it. The 2 points at the rim. Why not?
And then obviously, Ejiofor is one of the better bigs in the country. But it seemed like, you at 18 years old were doing just fine out there. Do you kind of, how to word it? You can have do you feel like you play better maybe when the competition is raised, or it just doesn't matter who you're playing? You're going to play hard every game?
I feel like, again, I've always been a super competitor. I know he's a really good player. He's in contention for Big East Player of the Year. Like, he's going to be a really good player for them. Going into those matchups, I've always been a super competitor, so I always try to show the best version of myself and try and win at any level against no matter who I'm playing. So that was a big game for me for sure. I was excited for that matchup, definitely.
Everybody looks at your Arizona State production and highlights and kind of view that as like who you are, and where does your game have to continue to grow? Like, what do you want the finished product to be before you take the next step to the NBA?
I mean, I feel like my shooting consistency has been pretty terrible last year. I can't lie. So that's one thing I want to get up a large amount this year, to be able to show that I'm able to be versatile. I'm able to do more than just kind of run and dunk at points. But yeah, just show my versatility more. I feel like that's my biggest thing. Like show.
Speaking of shooting, sorry, Zach. Made that first shot. I know you banked it in. Did you call it?
I
And
did.
how nice did it feel did it feel like a relief just knowing that first shot went in and you were just able to roll from there?
For sure. Just again, it helped things flow more smoothly, gives you a sense of confidence, lets you relax a little bit. Again, I went in with the mentality not to force, but seeing that first shot go in, it just kind of sets you at ease a little bit more. So it's definitely super cool to see.
Did you hear those JQ chants from way up in the rafters?
They were pretty loud. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard not to. Again, the crowd energy was crazy. It was like a home game. So I really appreciate the love that they showed for sure.
Did that live up to the hype, knowing way back when you first committed to the kind of finished product, you finally getting on the floor and hearing those chants with you actually playing?
Definitely. I mean, I've been even feeling love when I was on the sidelines. People have been excited for me to return, saying positive things. So being able to see it on the court and still receive that same level is amazing.
I'm sure I'll ask a bunch of stuff you've already been asked, but just how did you feel like Sunday morning when you woke up?
Again, I felt really good. I didn't feel overly sore. I didn't play obviously too many minutes, but I felt like I recovered really well. I bounced back well, and he felt good. Felt good, yeah.
Do you played I think 14 minutes in the second half, or do you feel like you're at a level where you can already play like that kind of time load pretty much right off the bat here?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I've been doing a lot of working with Randy, with B. Wells, with Mikhail, with all the coaches, just to prepare me for now. I feel like it paid off. I felt in good shape. I didn't feel too tired. I felt good.
Speaking of B. Wells and the team, obviously you brought him out for the post-game press conference. Y'all had matching shirts. A lot of people probably wouldn't even do that. They would just say, yeah, the team helped me out. I feel good. But why was it important for you to bring them out in a very big NBA arena and show them some love?
Well, I mean, again, coming back from a major injury like this, it takes a lot of people. It takes a lot of pieces. I tore my ACL, meniscus, I had a fracture in my knee. It was like a lot of things to come back from. So without them, even at Arizona State, I had Dr. Chabra, who did my surgery, Mark, PT, John Jurgens, who was PT here. I had like a lot of people a part of my process, so it only feels right to kind of shout out everybody who was with me that whole time.
What was the most fun part of Saturday for you? Was there a specific point of the game that stood out among the others?
That stood out amongst the others.
Maybe when you're going to bed at night on Saturday night, you thought, "Oh man, that was really really fun, really cool."
That stood out. Again, I feel like the energy was great off the rip. Like I felt like as soon as me and J-Lo started kind of getting our run going, I feel like we had a 14-0 run at a point. Retaking that lead, I felt like was the best feeling, like actually being back in contention, fighting back, because we struggled a little bit in the first half. We were down double digits at a point. So being able to actually feel the comeback was great.
Did you want to debut against a really good team like that and kind of get that challenge right off the bat, especially like Zuby is known for his physicality, and you went right up against him?
Definitely. I feel like I'm a player who tries to rise to the occasion. I'm a super large competitor, so that was something that was important to me for sure.
You were talking about Jaylen and you guys kind of making that run together. Obviously, with you being out, you've been with the team, but you haven't been able to really play a lot of basketball with the guys. So how's the chemistry going along with guys like Jaylen, but also some of the other players on the team that you're finally now starting to work with on the court?
I feel like the on-the-court chemistry worked so well just because of the stuff we were doing in the summer. The stuff we were doing even up until now, just off the court, being around each other, going out, grabbing food, just, kind of being friends with everybody that you're on the team with. Like, building those connections, it matters, and it kind of showed the other day.
I've heard a lot about your individual chemistry with Jasper, and like you guys have kind of play off one another. You guys know each other's next step. Where did that come from, and why do you guys think you guys have such great chemistry?
Well, I mean, we played together on Team Thad when we were together. We were number one in URBL. We were like 10-2. Had a good run there. So I've been knowing him for a while, and he was like a large part of recruiting me to come here. Like through Instagram, he was like DMing me, telling me about coming here. After he had committed, so that was a big part of why I committed, just knowing him and the relationship that we had. And even since we've been coming back, like he's been trying to walk me through plays, make sure I know everything that's going on. So he's a huge part in, even during the game, making sure I knew everything that was going on, helping me play well. So I've always had a great relationship with him. I feel like we've been invested in each other's success, so it's been super cool to see.
What felt the most off Saturday? Was there anything that maybe you felt, obviously you hadn't played in 10 months, maybe a little behind, whether it be, balance or timing or whatever?
Maybe contesting closeouts. I feel like, again, I fouled a three-point shooter. I don't usually do that. Just kind of trying to find my distance on contested shooters. Like, I was jumping at a lot of threes. Last game, I jumped at like 3-4, didn't get any of them. So just refining that timing a little bit more. But I feel like that just comes with playing more. So I feel like that'll come very soon.
And is that something like, and how much of that did you even get to do in practice? How much were you really doing these last couple weeks to replicate that, I guess?
Well, I mean, I only went like 3 full blast practices. So I didn't get as too much, just kind of learning the plays, making sure I was in shape and like ready to go for this game. So being able to practice a lot more and get more used to the team and build that chemistry to a higher level is going to be super vital for these upcoming games.
And I'm sure you talked about it, but when were you informed, or when did you make the decision? When did you know that you're going to play Saturday, and what was that kind of feeling and conversation like?
Maybe at like 1 on Friday. Like it was very. It came to the wire, that decision. So I knew very late, but we ended up playing and it went well. So
what was the deciding factor? Just feel good, ready to go?
Just making sure my team felt good about it, making sure Coach Pope felt good about putting me in at that moment. He's super invested in my future, so he wants to put me in the best position to be successful. He didn't want to rush me out there if I wasn't ready. So just trying to convince everybody that I felt confident, I felt ready to play. I felt like that was a big part of it.
But Pope said it was an evaluation on Friday that would decide it. Was that just like evaluating your practice performance, or was it like a one final test, or what was that?
Yeah, just the practice performance, seeing how I felt, seeing if they were confident that I would be ready to go out and play on that stage.
Did you hear from him Sunday morning? Like, how are you feeling, or how's the knee, anything like that?
Yeah, he was making sure I was feeling good. Again, he's always been in my corner, making sure that things are going well. So it's good to hear from him always.
Was that like a morning text message, or how did he reach out to ask about that?
I mean, we had like walkthroughs. We had a couple things we did on Sunday, so I seen him in person.
Okay.
So.
Whole team yet up until that point, so everybody was kind of looking, trying to kind of see where we would have been if we had our whole team, and I'm glad that we all had the opportunity to show everybody what we look like whenever we're 100%.
How fun was it? It seemed like every TV timeout, every break, guys were just a lot of smiles, a lot of slapping hands.
It's fun when you're winning, so we just kind of were embracing the moment, kind of just picking each other up, just trying to finish the game, keeping each other, encouraged, and just a lot of high-spirited, just people on the side, you know what I mean?
Obviously, a little bit of a slow start to the season for the team, but also maybe a little bit for you. But as you've started to play better, the team's starting to play better. So how are you feeling physically, mentally about your game right now?
Feeling good. Once again, like winning. So it's always feels good to win. No matter for my performance. I mean, it's just taking a game at a time. Not really putting too much stress on myself. Just like I said, just one game at a time. Staying patient, waiting till my number's called, and just performing to the standards that I know I can.
I didn't go to the game, but on TV there was a pretty loud pop on your second three. Kind of talk me through what you were feeling during that moment, and how well the crowd was in Atlanta.
Yeah, the crowd was loud because as like a shooter, you can say just not hitting shots just kind of brings your confidence a little down. But hearing the crowd still support, it really just gave us a lot of positive, you can say, remark on us. Because after the Gonzaga game, we were kind of a little down. But then after that, we kind of just picked it up and we brought it to Atlanta. And to see that, it just feels great. And then Jaylen, he was telling me, he was like, I don't know why you dribble after I pass you the ball, because he wanted me to shoot. So right when he passed it, I didn't really think twice. I just shot the ball and it went in. So.
What does having Jaylen out there do for you personally, specifically? It seems like he just kind of opens up everything offensively, and especially in transition.
Yeah, I was about to say that. In transition, he's probably the fastest player that I've ever seen with the ball. So he just say whenever you get the ball, just run, and he will find us, which he does. And if not, he can go score whenever he want, because he averaged like 18 last year, something like that. So he can score whenever he wants. So it's just having a point guard like that really makes our jobs easier.
Do you have to be just completely focused when you know? I remember the Indiana play where he ended up missing the layup and Mo got the rebound, but there was nobody behind him, and he just kind of created transition out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you just have to always be on your toes?
You gotta always be ready, because when he got the ball, he can find you anywhere. I think it was a play. He kind of drove towards the middle, and he looked at me, but he threw it to Colin in the left corner. That caught me off guard, but just plays like that, just always have to be ready, because he sees the play before it happens. So having, like I said, a point guard like that just makes a shooter's job, or everybody's job, just way easier.
Obviously, the offense has been a little bit better, but the real reason you guys won those last 2 games was defense. Kind of talk a little bit about how good this team can be when this guy's 100%. Maybe you at the 3 or the 4, Ortega, Denzel, and you kind of just add all those guys, and Mo especially, all together. How good could this defense be?
It can be really good. You know, we have a lot of defensive segments in practice, and we know how good we can be defensively if we really lock in. So our defensive coaches always challenge us in different drills to try to not let the other team score at all, or even get a shot or stuff like that. So having players that can guard like that and create on the offensive side, it really gives us a better chance of winning the game.
Coach Pope has talked about, with you specifically, wanting that intensity like 100% of the time. That maybe it comes and goes sometimes, but when he sees it, it's just like you're like nobody else on the team. What's been the adjustment there of just trying to get that out at all times?
I just use it to get myself going a little bit. You know, having like I said, a coach like that believes in you and knows what you can do. He kind of holds me to a standard that I try to meet or exceed. So I would say having like the team like that, because he said having a guy like that on the as the 5 or whatever with Mo, just all around guys, just who can all guard. It's just a team on the offensive side makes their job way harder than it should. So we just try to stress that every day and get better, 1% better every day.
Is that contagious when you see like Mo out rebound literally the entire Indiana team, or this guy just bowling people over? Does that get you even more hyped up?
Because it makes you want to do something the next possession whenever it's your turn. So it's just like a momentum swing. Whenever he gets a block, or Mo gets a rebound, or O gets a steal, or something like that.
Jaylen and Ortega both mentioned after the last game kind of it felt like your identity was maybe a little bit more obvious than it had been. It felt like it was physical, tough defense. Do you think you've found more of an identity, and is that something y'all are going to lean into more as the rest of the season goes?
That game that we just had, it kind of give us a standard that we need to live up to. So if we bring that energy every game, I feel like our odds of winning the game is going to be way better than the other teams. So we just have to keep it going. And got to get ready for tomorrow. It's a new team, new play style, so something that we haven't seen before. So we really just have to lock in at practice today and get ready for that.
Obviously, it was a big game against a ranked opponent, neutral site, but obviously it meant a little bit more to Coach Pope. Did you guys notice anything a little different from him heading into the game and maybe afterwards when you guys won?
I'd say after we won, then he had like a little difference, but leading up to it, he was just kind of his normal self, staying to himself, composed, just emphasizing that we had to win this game. We got to stick to our principles, our keys, and we did just that, and we won. So.
And how much did you guys want to win it? Did it give you guys a little bit extra motivation knowing that, Coach used to play for Coach and he really wanted to win that game?
Yeah, we kind of wanted to win that for him more than he wanted to win the game. But all in all, we wanted to win just in general, no matter who we played. So having that little bit of a boost, you can say, from him, or that type of atmosphere, you can say, it really just made us play harder so we can win.
Did you talk to Jaylen in the locker room, like halftime locker room at all, or just like get to chat with him or anything? And did you expect him to come out and play in that second half?
Yeah, he said he was feeling good. He just it's like a slight shift or something like that. So whenever he came back in the game, he knew that he's gonna be able to play. So having him out there, like I told him, just makes our job way easier because he's like the best point guard, and he's also the fastest point guard, and he reads the game really well. So it makes our job as wings and bigs easier.
What does that tell you about his toughness? I mean, slight shift.
Yeah.
You're talking about a shoulder there.
Right,
still
shoulder.
coming back and playing in the second half. I mean, that's still pretty serious, it sounds like.
Because they were a physical team, so I knew that, I'm not going to say they try to target it a little bit, but I know that they would try to, kind of hit him a little harder or something like that. So him playing through that, it shows his toughness, his mental toughness and stuff like that, because he's really playing every game, not knowing if it's his last game or not this year. So, him taking a chance just to play with, the team just shows how great of a person he is.
What does he look like as an on-court leader? Because we saw from that Indiana game, there was like a clip where he was saying, "I love you all," like in the middle of the huddle. He kind of had an emotional response after the St. John's game about coming back and playing for you all.
Yeah.
Just what's he been like as a leader from the on-court and off-court from your perspective?
Yeah. And Jalen's a great leader. Like I said, he is playing every game, not knowing it's his last game, so he just takes advantage of it at all times. And like when he talks to us and kind of leads us and makes us want to play harder, because obviously we all want to have our full team every time we play. So we just play a little harder whenever he's in the game or just everybody's in the game. Because at the end of the day, we want to win. Just no matter who's on the court, who we're playing against, we all want to win. So we just want to keep playing. Like I said, game tomorrow, so we got to keep the same energy and go in the break with a win.
What's been your mental approach? So 41% from three last season just wasn't falling so far until you go 2 for 5 in that game. Just how are you dealing with that from your own brain, essentially?
Yeah, just keep shooting. Can't really say too much after that, and just can't really just settle like I'm not making shots. I'm gonna stop shooting. Like that's not how it works. Because the best shooters in the world keep shooting. Curry, my favorite player, like I said before, and he misses a lot of shots too, but he go keep shooting them. So I got to keep the confidence up.
Was there something about the shots early on that, like, were you getting from a bad spot? Just was just not a right flow. Was there anything in particular you could point to? You think, or?
Nah, I probably just say I was rushing a little bit, thinking that the defender was closer to what he is. But then, as I keep shooting, I got to realize that I'm 6'8", so a lot of people are not gonna block my shot for real. So I just have to not try to rush, take my time, shoot the same shot that I've been shooting. Shoot the same shot I shot last year and shot 41, 42, whatever. So just keeping that mental approach to it and it makes everything easy.
What's post message to you been amid kind of a slow shooting start? Because when he talks to us, he's like, at some point Cam's gonna just absolutely go off and start making a bunch in a row.
He just tell me keep shooting. Never to lose my confidence, because as a shooter, sometimes when you're not making shots, confidence starts to decrease a little bit each game. But he just tells me every day, every practice, like, keep shooting. They're going to fall. And, it fell last game, so let's go keep shooting.
When did you guys know that JQ was going to play? And just what was your, overall assessment of his game Saturday?
Personally, I didn't know he was playing in the game. He was, practicing, working out, stuff like that. But I didn't know he was actually going to play in the game. But for his first game back in whatever, I think he last played in February or something like that. So for him to have an impact on the game like that in his first game back shows that the potential that he has and the potential that the team has for the rest of the season.
What have you thought about him in practice? It sounds like he's just been kind of what we saw Saturday is what he's been in from a physicality perspective.
Yeah, extremely physical, bro. Because you look at him and 18-year-old kid, and you think that he's just just a shy player or whatever, but he's probably the most physical player you go play against. Super athletic, everybody knows that. And he really he impacts the game on multiple different levels. So he can offensively, defensively, and people just kind of a little nervous when you go to the goal against him because you think he's going to block the shot. Just you thinking that he's going to block your shot is going to make you not want to go to the goal. So it's like a fear factor, you can say.
You guys have made it clear that one player does not make this team, that you guys want to win every game regardless of who you got. But by the time you found out Jayden was coming back and to see Jalen go out of that game in the first half, what was that roller coaster of emotions like? Obviously the offense struggled in the first half. You guys, while we were all reacting to it up from the media, you guys still had to go out there and play basketball after seeing him go onto the floor. What was that roller coaster of emotions like? And then when you found out he was making it?
The emotions were kind of high, you could say. We were down going into half, and really just had to keep our intensity up, keep our confidence up, because we had a whole nother half of basketball to play. The game's not over in the first half. So when the second half started, we were on a little run, start off, and then we just kept the momentum going from there. And then his impact, Jalen's impact, they brought a different energy to the team, and that's what we were missing, because obviously they weren't here. So now that shows that our full potential team is a different look than we looked in the beginning.
So you talked about this being obviously a step up from Tulane last season. Now that the games have started, 12 games in, 6 really good teams, what's kind of been the biggest adjustment for you, or maybe the most difficult thing to get a hold of, I guess?
At first it was the physicality a little bit, but then as I practice against them every day, it really just I just got really I could say better at the physicality part. So like the little bumps and stuff, I struggled with that maybe like the first week or two. And after that, the defensive coaches, I watched film with them, watched different clips, and then that just made my game a little better. And then playing against him every day, whenever I get the switch, I got to guard him. It's a hard job, but just stuff like that.
What does that feel like when you body up with him? It seems like, just from shaking his hand, it seems like whenever you make physical contact, it hurts more than other guys.
Yeah, he's, like I said, super strong. If you lower that shoulder on him, it's not the best feeling, but he's a strong dude, man. That's all you can say. He's a strong dude.
From the defensive standpoint, you've been pretty consistent with your effort there all season long. Is there any one aspect of your defense you think that has been able to keep you on the court with this team in particular?
I say just keep my man in front. Like we say, guard our yard. So basically, if you're a one-on-one isolation play a little bit, I feel like I can play on guarding my man pretty good, and also the help side, the deflections and stuff like that. So I try to just do everything I can for us to win.
Do you consider yourself a trash talker?
Me? No.
Yeah. I was just seeing sometimes I like to get a little chippy out there, it feels like. I don't know, is that just you just riding the emotions of the game, or do you like to...
I don't think I'm a trash talker. I don't know. The worst trash talker on the team is Mo, probably. Mo.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think nobody would say me for real. I don't think so.
What type of trash talker is Mo?
Just everything. Just everything in the book. He'll score on you. He'll say you're little. Say you're going to get a rebound. Stuff like that. He'll flex on you. Just he'll get offensive rebound, because they say offensive rebounds is demoralizing for the other team. So he'll get one and he'll let you know that he got one.
That surprises you. We heard all offseason how he's motivational, how he's lifting you guys up. You get on the court, he's telling you too small. Is that a role? Is that kind of a rubber band of emotions for you off the court versus on the court?
It's a little. You can say it's a little something like that, to be honest. Because like I said, Mo, he's motivational, like you say. So he always try to keep our spirits up. If he thinks that we're down, he'll check on you every day. He'll call you, you good, stuff like that. So having an on-court and off-court kind of presence like that just give you somebody to talk to. It's there's something going on or some personal life, stuff like that. He's always willing to listen to you, give you advice and stuff like that. So he's motivational, on and off the court.